It is so hard filming here in the Philippines because there are a lot of background noises and it's just not. Are you serious? Okay. Okay, hi! I'm Cherry and you've stumbled upon my channel, and today I'm going to be sharing with you guys a pretty big book haul. This is the last book haul of the year, and to be honest, there are a few more books coming in and it's taking ages to get here, so I might film another book haul early next year, or I don't know, we'll see. We'll see if I accumulate enough books to film another book haul, or maybe I can just film like a mini book haul, I don't know. But yeah, self-control is not my forte, like that is so freaking obvious. And as a cheapskate, it physically pains me to even do these book hauls because I know how much money I've spent over the last few months. So let us just get on to the books before I start crying. If you are interested in a certain genre, then you can check the timestamps in the description box down below, because I have 4 genres that I separated these books into. So the first is nonfiction, and then the second is straight romance, and then there's sapphic books, general sapphic books, and then there's others because I don't know where to put them, so I just compiled them all together and categorized it as others. Books that I've already finished and reviewed prior, I probably won't add to this video. Like for example, All Your Perfects, which I read recently, I will not add that. I don't remember the other books actually, and that's a factor in why I'm not going to add them to this haul, because I don't remember them anymore. Anyway, let us start with the haul. And let us begin with nonfiction. The first book I have with me is kind of a weird one. I don't know, it's not like super weird, but I was supposed to read it for the Asian Readathon last May, but I didn't get to it because I was in a really bad reading slump, and I found a physical copy in Shopee, so I bought it because it sounds so interesting, and that is Modern Romance by Aziz Ansari. Aziz Ansari is a comedian. He's very popular, so you probably know him, but for Modern Romance, he worked together with some highly esteemed universities to gather information about what's it like to date in the modern world, and I think that's super interesting, and I got this for very cheap, but I am very excited to read this. Maybe I'll read it in next year's Asian Readathon or something. But yeah, it sounds so fun because I like statistics and I also really like Aziz Ansari as a comedian, so I'm excited to pick this up. You know what? This gas station in front of our house keeps playing really sad love songs and I'm very concerned for whoever decided on their playlist today. Anyway, let us move on. The next book I have is Hope and Other Luxuries by Claire B. Dunkel. Claire B. Dunkel is an award-winning sci-fi writer, but this is an eating disorder memoir. So as I probably mentioned in a previous vlog, Claire B. Dunkel is Elena Dunkel's mom, and I read Elena Dunkel's memoir, Elena Vanishing, and this is a memoir from the point of view of the mom, and I'm really interested in reading it. I'm actually 120 pages in already, and it's very interesting, although it's kind of a little slow because it does follow the point of view of the mom, so there really isn't, you know, much to say about the eating disorder bit until later, because she's still relaying their life prior to Elena having an eating disorder. So, but I'm really excited and I'm really enjoying the writing style. Anyway, the next book I have is a little weird, and that's Notes on a Banana by David Leite, or Late. I don't know how to pronounce his name, I'm so sorry. But this book discusses bipolar disorder, and as someone with bipolar disorder, I am really interested in reading other people's experiences because I know it's different for everyone. So I bought this book on sale as well, much like, actually most of the books here I bought secondhand or on sale, so including this. I don't really know much about it aside from the fact that it's a bipolar disorder memoir, and I'm excited to read this eventually, hopefully the next year. And then next we have straight romance, and I have no fucking idea why I even have these books, but sometimes I'm in the mood for something cute and lighthearted, and they're mostly straight romance, and they're mostly also YA, and I'm very concerned about my reading taste because I'm not really inclined to pick them up, but I bought these books in like bundles, so here we are. The first book I have is, I believe, in A Thing Called Love by Maureen Gu. This book, I think, has hints to popular K-dramas, and it's following Desi Lee, who is a perfectionist. She has a plan for everything, but on the downside, she very much sucks at romance. But she is a fan of K-dramas, so she decides to have like this K-drama steps to true love, and I think that's going to be really cute, and that is the reason why I even bought this book. Aside from the fact that I read Somewhere Only We Know by Maureen Gu as well, and it wasn't a favorite, but it was cute. And if I'm in the mood to pick up something cute, I'll definitely be picking up Maureen Gu's books, because I have another one of her books, and that is The Way You Make Me Feel. I bought these from another Filipino booktuber, I think, in a bundle, and that is why I have them. But yeah, this one stars Clara Shin. This one I think has to do with like Korean food, because her dad owns a food truck and her mom is a social media influencer. I read the summary a little while ago, and I am very confused on how to explain the summary, but it sounds cute enough because I like foodie romances. I think they are absolutely cute, and it makes me hungry. Also, the love interest is named Hamlet. The next two books I got in a bundle as well, like I said. And the first one is A Little Something Different by Sandy Hall. I really want to read this one because it sounds so cute. Okay, so it's about Leia and Gabe, and they have so much in common, except that Leia is a little aloof and Gabe is shy, and they don't really have feelings for each other. And everyone is so interested in their love story, but they themselves don't know that it's already happening. And that sounds so freaking cute. And I think it has like some writing themes to it as well, because they are both in the same creative writing class, and I like reading books about writing. So that sounds cute. That sounds so cute. I absolutely love friends to lovers, so hopefully this one can be a cute little friends to lovers moment, and I'm excited to pick this up actually. And then the other one is Signs Point Yes, also by Sandy Hall. Like I said, I bought a bunch of these as a bundle, and this one is about Jane. So Jane usually gets answers from her magic 8-ball. That sounds so retro, doesn't it? But yeah, and then she meets a lifeguard, Theo, who ends up confiding in her about things, and I don't know, I'm not really like super interested in this book specifically. I actually really wanted this one, but they came in a bundle, and I was like, why not more books, right? And also they are mostly cover buys, because look at the covers of these. Aren't they just super cute? Yeah, I'm a sucker for cute covers. And also, I'm only really interested in a little something different. But this one sounds cute too, so I'm probably going to read it as well in the next year or so, when I'm in a fluffy romance mood, which I'm actually getting into, which is weird because I'm usually in an angsty mood. Anyway, let's move on. The next book is something I'm really excited about, and it's kind of a 5-star prediction. Kind of. And that is Normal People by Sally Rooney. I've heard so many amazing things about Sally Rooney's books, and I am so excited to pick up one of her books. And Normal People, I think, is the one that makes a lot of people cry. And if a book makes me cry, then that is like an automatic star for me. And I'm excited to read this. I'm not even sure if it's a romance. I added it in this romance category because everyone says that it's a romance. I'm not sure what this is about actually. All I know is that it is full of emotions, and that is literally all I need. I think this book is about like how opposites attract, because Connell is popular and Marianne is a loner. And I don't know, I'm intimidated by Sally Rooney books, to be quite honest, but I'm really excited to pick up Normal People, and it is a 5-star prediction. And I'm ready to be blown away, and if not, then... Anyway, let us move on to sapphic books. And the first one I have is How to Make a Wish by Ashley Herring Blake. I have quite a few of Ashley Herring Blake's books on my TBR, including this one. So I am quite excited. I think she writes mostly middle grade sapphic books, and this is like young adult. I'm really curious about this one because aside from the fact that it has a sapphic romance, it also discusses deeply mother and daughter relationships, so I am very eager to pick this up. The next one, which is something I should probably have picked up already. I don't know why I have not yet, because it is one of my most anticipated of the year, and that is Malice by Heather Walter. This is a Sleeping Beauty retelling, and it sounds incredible, and that is all I know. But I don't think it's YA. I think it's like either new adult or adult, but I know it's not YA, which is why I am even more inclined to pick it up. And the next one is another YA book, which is so weird because I really don't read that much YA books. Like, I am not inclined to pick up YA books, but I bought quite a bit of that, which is beyond me. But that is Girls Made of Snow and Glass by Melissa Bashardus. This one I think is a retelling of Snow White. I think Snow White and Rose Red. And it's high fantasy. And I don't know how else to describe this book, except that I feel like it gets dark. Honestly, any sapphic fairy tale retelling will win me over, so I'm excited to pick this one up too. Ooh, I have 2 of those. I'm so happy to have these actually, because I absolutely am a sucker for sapphic fairy tale retellings, because literally everything should be sapphic. And now that people are writing fairy tale retellings and making them gay, why didn't we do that sooner? Right? The next book I already talked about in a previous vlog, but very quickly, but I want to talk about it here again because I absolutely love this book, and that is All Out: The No Longer Secret Stories of Queer Teens Throughout the Ages. It is by a myriad of different YA authors, and this one was a 5-star read for me earlier this year. It was just absolutely breathtaking. All the short stories were very intriguing, and a lot of them were so impactful that I think about them and was like, how are these not full-length books? These are incredible. I don't know, I'm not really a fan of historical fiction. Like, I mentioned that a few times in my channel, but I really enjoyed the historical aspect of each story, and I really wish you guys would pick this up because it's just so... There are sad stories, and there are happy stories, and there are emotional stories, and stories that made me angry, and I just felt so many emotions reading this book. So please just pick this up because I absolutely loved it. This is definitely one of my favorites this year. Oh, by the way, I read this book via my Kindle earlier this year, but I loved it so much that I decided to buy a physical copy. That's how much I loved it. I usually don't do that, but I loved it so much that I needed a physical copy because I know that one day I will reread it and I probably will annotate it. The next book is an adult book, and one of my most anticipated releases of this year as well, and that is Payback's a Witch by Lana Harper. Lana Harper also goes by Lana Popovich. So if you guys have watched some of my older videos, you've probably heard me talk about Blood Countess by Lana Popovich. And I love her writing style so freaking much. And I think she writes, because Blood Countess is young adult, but I think Lana Popovich uses Lana Harper for her adult books, and this is adult. And it is obviously about sapphic witches, which is one of my favorite tropes. Does that count as a trope? But yeah, I absolutely love the concept of sapphic witches, and I am so excited to pick this up because I think it is also a rom-com. This is also a 5-star prediction actually, so hopefully I can get to this early next year. I don't know, but I don't know. I'm always in the mood for sapphic witches, but I don't know why I haven't picked this up yet. I feel like I'm a little nervous because Blood Countess is both a disappointment but also one of my favorite books of all time. And I am so excited to read this. honestly, and dive back into Lana Popovich's writing. Oh, Lana Harper. And look at that cover. Isn't it just so pretty? I love it so much. Oh my god, I hope my stack of books will not fall. The next book I have, or the last book in the sapphic category, is Under the City Lights by S.J. Wolf. This one is indie and written by a local writer. So the writer is Filipino. And this was a gift, a Christmas gift to me by Mish, my best friend. And I don't know how she found this book. I think she follows the author on TikTok, and that's how she found out about this book. And I am very, very interested in this. She told me that the reason she bought this for me is because it is gay, first of all. And the second is that the redhead or the red-haired girl reminded her of me. And I know my hair isn't red anymore, but one of these days I'll probably go back to dyeing my hair red. But for now, I'm sticking with blue. But yeah, that was just so touching. And this is, I think, new adult. So I am very excited to pick this up. When she told me about it, I was just like, absolutely, yes. Thank you so much. I am very much interested. And of course, I'm going to be checking out more books from this author after, and this inspired me to check out more of the local indie author scene, aside from like Romance Class, which I have a few already. But yeah, I really wanna check out more local indie authors because they're usually the ones who write queer stories. Traditionally published authors don't really write a lot of queer stories, especially here in the country, except Rincho Peko, obviously. Romance stories, specifically, not a lot of local authors get published traditionally, and I'm really excited to check out more from the local indie authors. Yes, absolutely. I'm so excited about this book. And then finally, we are in the other category, and these are just a bunch of random books that I don't know where else to put. Anyway, I'll start with Adeline by who is this by? Nora Vincent. Adeline, a novel of Virginia Woolf by Nora Vincent. I think I've mentioned this in my either Hocus Pocus or Spooktober. Hocus Pocus Readathon TBR last October, and I didn't get to it because I shifted around the books for that readathon. But I'm really excited to get to this because I really like Virginia Woolf, and this story is a reimagining of the events that happened prior to her suicide. And I think that's really interesting. And yeah, it's a pretty short book. Why did I not read this last October? But yeah, this one I bought at a sale. I think I bought this at Big Bad Wolf, and I was like, ooh, this seems interesting. So I just bought it. I just bought it on a whim. Much like most of these books. What the hell is wrong with me? And the next book is a mental health book. This has been on my TBR for ages actually. So when I saw it in a shop in Shopee, I was like, okay, let us check that out because it has been on my TBR for ages. But this one is Madness by Zach Brewer. I don't remember what specific mental illness this book discusses, but hang on. I feel like this book might get dark, and I cannot remember what mental illnesses this book discusses, but I think there's quite a few because both the male and female lead have mental disorders and mental health issues in general. And this sounds so interesting because Brooke, the female, thinks that her relationship with Derek is bringing out the best in her, but it might be bringing out the worst in Derek. And that sounds angsty as hell, and I am here for it. Oh my god, I hope the fucking stack isn't going to fall off. The next book we have is a pretty popular one, and I am very excited to read. I might read this next week. We'll see how the clear your shit thing goes, because this one is my choice for the opulent book prompt, and that is The Queen of Nothing by Holly Black. I really enjoyed the Cruel Prince series. Really liked The Cruel Prince book 1, loved The Wicked King, and now I'm excited to see how it ends. Finally, I probably won't get to like the short stories or like the extra stories. I don't really care, but I like the series enough to check out what will happen in the finale. So here we have it. Finally, it's been months. It's taken me months to actually get my hands on The Queen of Nothing because it's always out of stock and fully booked. And I was like, oh my god, if the fucking bookstore does not restock next time, I might just actually buy it on Book Depository. And fully book restocked. So I bought it. So now I have it. And hopefully I can get to it by the end of the year. The next book I am extremely excited about because I have heard amazing things. And that is House of Salt and Sorrows by Erin A. Craig. This is kind of a horror, YA horror, creepy retelling of the 12 Dancing Princesses. That sounds so freaking good. The way they told this story is that, so like there's the 12 Dancing Princesses, right? And then one by one, each of the sisters end up dying. And I want to know, first of all, how they're dying, and second of all, why they're dying. And I thought this book would be chunkier, to be honest. How many pages is this? Oh, almost 400 pages. I honestly thought this was like 500 to 600 pages when I saw it in other people's videos, but it's actually not that big, so I'm surprised. And I am so stoked to read this, to be honest. It is not the right time, but I will find time for this one of these days because I'm just so excited to have this. Don't fall, don't fall, don't fall. The next two books I have are super fucking random, and I only bought them because the titles sound interesting and they sound fun. And the first one is A Lady's Guide to Selling Out by Sally Franson. I really don't know what this is about now anymore. I don't remember what this is about anymore, but I saw it in the Big Bad Wolf sale and I went to Goodreads to check it out, and it sounds fun. When I was reading the summary, I was like, okay, let's buy that. But it's in hardback, so the fucking summary isn't at the back of the book. So we are just going to go with our gut and believe that this will be a fun read because it does sound like it. So we are going to find a way to read this in the next few years. And finally, we have Dating Tips for the Unemployed by Iris Smiles. This one is paperback, but it also does not have a summary at the back of the book. Hello! This sounds so freaking funny, honestly. And, okay, truth be told, I'm not unemployed. I'm semi-unemployed. I don't know what you call freelancers, but I'm definitely not unemployed. But the thing is, this just sounds fun, and when I read the summary in Goodreads, I remember reading it, it was like, oh, that sounds relatable. I mean, I'm in an 8-year relationship, I've got a steady stream of clients, but for some weird reason, this book spoke to me when I saw it in the Big Bad Wolf site. I was like, it sounds fun, let's just check it out. Plus, it was so cheap, so I was like, whatever, you know? Maybe it'll make for a fun read when I decide to read like a random book off my bookshelf. I mean TBR card, not bookshelf. Anyway, we are done. That is 20 books, I think. 20 books over here. I'm not going to bring it out to the camera because it is fucking heavy. I cannot believe I have 20 unread books. Actually, I have more. I think I have 100 unread books. But these are the 20 that I have acquired recently. And like I said, there will be more coming. So expect another book haul early next year. Because, like I said a second ago, I am a fucking sellout. Anyway, those are all the books that I have acquired recently. And I am really, really excited to pick up a lot of them. I know I always say that and then end up buying more books for my Kindle instead. It's a problem. It's a huge problem. But we are going to make it work because we are not rich in any way and we love money. Anyway, that is all I have for you today. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video and I will see you in my next one. Goodbye!